My fellow rideshare drivers, gig workers out there, if you look at the news today about Uber and Lyft, it doesn't look very promising for them. Looks like both companies are bleeding cash and now are forced to lay off thousands and thousands of their employees, right? Even some of the big wigs. If you know that, some of the big guys like Ben Horowitz at Lyft are leaving, or Thuan Pham, the CTO at Uber, are leaving, right? They are radically cutting costs. What surprises me, and this is the hard part here, is that the stock is still traded at 31.74. My guess is they may be buying a lot of the stock back, doing buybacks, or just trying to artificially keep it up by juicing up the numbers. But in reality, these are signs that a company is hurting, is bleeding. Scott Tucker's in the house, Mark Foudy's in the house, Mark Routen's in the house. Yo, howdy. Good, yeah. And glad to see some of these executives leaving, right? They really didn't do much anyway, so probably good riddance, flush them out. One of the last captains of the Titanic here, Dara Kay, I think he's just holding on to that steering wheel for dear life, right? Rough seas, hitting icebergs. I mean, it cannot be fun being the executive CEO of Uber, right? And my opinion, and again, it's just an opinion, towards the outside, they always try and pretend, hey, it's all good, it's wonderful, everything's okay, we got $10 billion cash reserves, we're doing fine. And then the next thing, they act very differently. I mean, why does a company, I ask you, why does a company consider, and this is not just consider, that's just the wording, right? They'll do it, right? It's not just that they're considering this, they will do this, because otherwise this ship sinks earlier than it should, right? 5,000 of its 27,000 workforce, right? They are considering laying off. Lyft over here, another article, is considering laying off 17. Lyft is laying off nearly 1,000 employees, 17% of its workforce, as the coronavirus sends ride-hailing industry into a nosedive, right? There's just no money coming in, right? People have filed for their unemployment. People are not going to go and subject themselves, and I'm talking people, drivers, the hard gig workers that actually make the money, right? That actually make the money for the companies. They are either collecting their unemployment right now, rightfully so, or staying out of harm's way, right? There's very few people on the front lines. In fact, I'll do another video later where Lyft sends out an email and says, Lyft says this, drivers are essential, and there's a whole little marketing thing by why drivers are essential. But they're definitely not seducing the driver with extra money or saying, hey, you are essential and we're going to pay you as an essential driver. We're going to pay you this hazardous money. They're just saying, you are essential, we need you right now. They are so freaking desperate, and they have no problem sending drivers to the front line, right? And then meanwhile, I mean, a guy like this, Dara Kay, again, this is my opinion. If he leaves, he's going to get a big package, right? A severance package, right? He is chopping. That's sort of his job. He lets 20% go right now. And the markets look at that and probably say, okay, that's a good thing. They're cutting back. But you also, you're missing out on a lot of positions, right? So your company is really weakened if you've let 5,000 of 27,000 go, right? It's weakened. Sure, you could stock up later and get more people back, but it's a clear sign the companies are hurting. I just hope, in my lawsuits, I have 3 lawsuits against this company, that I still get paid, right? So I'll have a lot to say after my lawsuits. It's right in the middle of the brawling right now, and I'm told by my attorneys to try and zip it for a few weeks. So I said to my attorneys, can't mention any names, can't mention any Uber attorneys or Lyft attorneys' names, can't mention my company's attorneys' names. They had a long talk with me yesterday, and they know how powerful I am on social media. And it's hard to restrain a stallion, a lion, right, who wants to tear these people apart. And I just said, I always reserve the options to obliterate these people, this company, in social media. I'll never take that off the table. That's one of my strongest bargaining tools, right? So you guys do what you have to do. If I have to do what I have to do, I will. But for now, I'll zip it. I won't mention any names. Just for now. Just saying that. But back to the story here. The San Francisco-based company's main ride-hailing business has dropped by about 80% in recent weeks. I think it's even higher than 80%, right? If you're trying to tell me that 1 out of every 5th rider is still out there taking trips, 1 out of every 5th driver is out there conducting business, 20% is still going on, I'd say you're crazy. I would say 90 to 95% is wiped out, it's gone. So I don't think that this 80% is accurate at all. I would say it's 90 to 95%. As stay-at-home orders have rippled across much of the United States, Europe, and parts of Asia. So this is going to be a fairly lengthy stream. I'm going to be also talking about this guy here, Thuan Pham, who fled Vietnam as a child and became Uber's CTO under Travis Kalanick in 2013. He's also leaving, right? Maybe he's just had it, or maybe they can't afford to pay him what he gets, right? Uber's CTO. I have a lot of articles to cover here, right? A lot. Lyft laying off 17% of its workforce. Ben Horowitz, the general partner at Lyft, is leaving, and this is all at once, right? Joey Phillips, mark my words, I will. Mark my words, I will. Whatever Joey Phillips said, that's just in the nature of my beast. That's how I grew up, right? I don't have anyone steal my money, right? I'll make them pay 100-fold. That's just, but you play fair, you play fair. You want to play dirty, I'll play dirty, and even dirtier than you ever have played. So it's all good to me. I'm in there. I'm all in. But I want to go back to this article, and all of this news is all at once, right? Uber and Lyft making all of these announcements, slashing 17%, slashing 20%. Guys, if you put 2 and 2 together, it's pretty simple. Pretty simple math here. They're hurting, right? They are bleeding their reserves. They see crazy salaries go out. They have all these leases and rentals of buildings worldwide. But Dara decides to stay in there. I guess the guy, just knowing him, he will not relinquish a cent. He will not take a portion of his salary. He wants it all. I mean, he definitely is the type of character who's shown over and over again that he would not relinquish a cent of his 42 million plus salary. That's just how I have this guy figured out. Abstract Impressions, Karen is in the house. She wants me to do the lion imitation. I will do the lion imitation at the end. I do not want to frighten too many people away. I also do not want to frighten the Uber and Lyft executives, right? Because otherwise they think the lion's at their door. I'll do the lion thing a little bit later. We'll have a little bit of fun, right? We've got to keep humor going. Ron Deutsch is in the house. He says, who's going to work for $5 an hour loss? Exactly. Which person in their right mind is going to work for that type of money? So you go out there and you take care of yourself. You find jobs that pay, right? And these are also jobs on the front line, right? On essential jobs. But right now, the feedback that I'm getting from the majority of my channels is that the people are moving around, or at least working in the food delivery industry. Instacart actually turned a profit. They were up 450% from December. Scott Tucker says MGM canceled events all the way until the 4th of July weekend. Wow, that's very telling. TD CPA PhD says in Seattle, black driver are selling cars ASAP because no cruise ships nor tourism for the rest of 2020. Yeah, I mean, if you're sitting on those SUVs and that, me too. Sold a few SUVs. I mean, scale back. You sort of have to do what you have to do. My friend from Ghana is in the house, Wulanyo. How are you, my brother? Hope that you and your family are doing well over there. Sending love to the African continent. Martha Huffman, hi Torsten, wishing you and everyone of our team the best health and hugs. By the way, before I get into this, right, clearly in our world, drivers are helping drivers. We're helping each other through these times. Elias is in the house. Yesterday, I'm getting goosebumps. Check this out. Yesterday, I had a very, very moving experience that I want to share with you. A very moving experience. Junkyard Mechanics in the house. How are you? I'm just going to acknowledge a few people. Chris B, Elias, Rideshare 411. Uber will keep chopping for the rest of the year. Yes, they will. But let me tell you a more uplifting, beautiful moment yesterday. Right? Yesterday, we had a live feed, and a very courageous young man. His name's Ed. Latin guy here in LA, Orange County, sorry, stepped up and said, listen, it hurts me, but I got to go to the food bank and get food. I have no money. No money's coming in. Unemployment is not coming in. Uber's not taking care of me. And the guy was so stressed, so stressed. I went back with him a few times in the text messages, and then I just said to the guy, hey, I will drive down to Long Beach and I'll give you $100 for groceries. Right? I want you to go and get groceries. I don't want you to. And what brought this all up for me is the stories that my grandparents told me in the Second World War, and they just ate potatoes every day, right? And potatoes. That's all they were rationing and just eating potatoes. So when the guy said, hey, I had to go to the food bank and get potatoes, it just struck a nerve. And I knew I had to go down there and help the guy. Anyway, the result, my friends, was very, very beautiful moment. I want to share this with you. Myself meeting Ed, giving him the $100. He said, I want to take a photo of us together on his phone, and I want to send it to you as a thank you. And he said, I want to repay you. I said, I don't want you to repay me. I said, I want you to drive straight to the supermarket and get what you need: milk, cereal, bananas, apples, vitamins, whatever you can. Whatever $100 will buy you. And I know it's not $1,000. It was just a token of me meeting him halfway, driving down to Long Beach, him coming up halfway. I didn't want him to burn too much gas because gas costs money. And he's just the happiest guy, right? I could just feel his spirits lifting. And I introduced him to all the people at our mechanic shop. And we had a good time, man. And he is just an awesome young guy. And I want to say, God bless you, my friend. Go out there, make it happen. If you really need to, come back to me, right? But if the companies are not taking care of us, we have to take care of each other. We really do, right? The companies are not doing the job they are supposed to be doing. Uber and Lyft executives are not leading and taking care of their workforce. Who is taking care of the workforce? It's like us. It's a family of gig workers. This is why I love being in the room with our people, right? From people from all around the world: Ghana, New Zealand, UK, United States, Vegas, everywhere. We are a family, and we are a powerful family that cares. We are humans that take care of each other, right? We don't put each other on the chopping block. We lift each other up, right? That's who we are in our hearts, in our DNA, in our cellular structure. We take care of people, right? And we've done that time and time again. I've seen heroes step up and take care of each other. I have seen fund drives. I have seen Dustin starting initiative. We've helped cancer patients. We've helped people with accidents. We have time and time again, as a community of gig workers, as a community of drivers, we have looked out for our brothers and our sisters, right? Even in the times when they don't even have food, right? We take care of each other. That's who we are, my friends. And I don't have to even go into more detail. You know who you are. I know who I am. I know that you care. I know that I care, right? And what we also know is that these companies have shown us their true colors, right? Companies that did care about their employees, right? They went out there and made sure they were safe. They made sure that weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks ago they had PPE. I've seen them. I saw how quickly Home Depot stepped up for their staff, right? Their staff, I know a manager at Home Depot, he said, our company rock and rolled and got us the PPE right away. They were ordering it wherever they could. They wanted to take care of us, right? And those are heroes in my eyes. Those are CEOs. But the bottom of the trash barrel, these executives that pretend or promise and put you on the front lines and literally have blood on their hands, in my eyes, they are the lowest trash out there, right? And then even so, the attorneys, and I'm not allowed to mention names, but the attorneys that misclassify drivers, keep drivers down so that they in these times are kept down, right? And not lifted up and not receive monies. That's also the toxic trash of the world. These type of humans don't belong in here. So it's people like us. We step up as a family of brothers and sisters worldwide, no boundaries whatsoever. We reach across and lift that person up. We reach. I have witnessed that with my own eyes here, how people lift each other up, how people encourage each other, how people rally around each other. If a person gets sick, we run to their aid. If a person doesn't have food, we run to their aid. If a person has cancer, we run to their aid. If a person's car is damaged and they can't get back on the road, we stepped in time and time again and paid for repairs. No matter if it was $300 auto repairs, we got them back on the road and we got them back running, right? That is more than any CEO of Uber and Lyft has ever done for any human, right? That's all I want to say. So a final decision on the scale of layoffs has not been made. The information reported, it said Uber would not comment on the possible cuts. Listen to this. Uber would not comment on the possible cuts. They're cutting, and my guess is they're cutting more than they're saying, right? And they said Uber would not comment on the possible cuts beyond a statement it provided. As you would expect, the company is looking at every possible scenario to ensure we get to the other side of this crisis in a stronger position than ever. And when I say they will look at every possible scenario to ensure that we, Uber, CEOs, executives, get to the other side of this crisis in a stronger position than ever, at the costs of hurting drivers, at the costs of hurting food delivery people. As long as we make it to the other side, it's this me, frickin' ego, above everybody else, king syndrome that these people on the top have, to get them through this to the other side at the cost of all of these other people on the front lines. I'll leave it at that. And my friends, karma is a bitch. The universe will slap you down so horribly if you fail to deliver. Let's go back into the house. Mark Roughton, thumbs up. Junkyard Mechanic, telling the truth. We have to tell the truth. Nelson Elias, oh, love you, my friend. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I appreciate you. I really do. Uber's newest tact is that riders are employing drivers, that Uber is simply the connector. You know, Karma doesn't need your address. You're right, QGS. Karma doesn't need your address. It knows exactly where you are. So I'll tell you something, Tony West. I'll tell you Derek Kay. I'll tell you Logan Green and all of those other greedy pigs out there, including Jeff Bezos. Karma doesn't have to know your address. They know exactly where you are. Oliver Thiemer's in the house. Oh, I got Germany in the house. Look at this, my friends. Go over there, subscribe. There's my brother from Germany, Oliver Thiemer, rocking and rolling. Whoop, whoop. Hey, what a nice surprise, Olli. Wie geht's dir, mein Junge? This is one of my warriors in Africa. We were on safaris together. We used to drive jeeps around there in the wild African plains together. There he is. He's a wild warrior, that guy, Oliver Thiemer. We go back, we were little kids. He's in Germany. Oliver, tell the people what city you're in. Tell the people about our childhood, my friends. How unique and special it was. Right? We're out there in shorts in the wild on Willie's Jeeps with, just crazy, amongst lions, amongst elephants. He's in Regensburg, Germany, right? And if anybody wants to reach out to Oliver, Oliver has a very, very successful business in Germany with his wife. They are recruiting worldwide. You can reach out to him and have that conversation with him. But Oliver says we are outlaws, and that's right. We are really outlaws. He knows how we rolled in Africa, out in the wild, just survival mode. Jeeps, food, tents, huts, chalets, lions, everything. Damn, we had good times. Never, ever, ever forget. And I think that word describes us very, very good. Outlaws, wild outlaws. That's in our blood. Anyway, I'm grateful to have my brother from Germany here. We grew up in South Africa together, and then he went to Germany. I studied in Germany, and we always keep contact. And here he is in my stream. But you guys can reach out to him. He's a really interesting, smart guy who will show you also how to make money. He's very, very successful, very honest, right? Very honest. Unlike other people that I've mentioned in the stream, Oliver is just straight shooter. He'll tell you as it is. He'll show you how to make money. So hopefully you reach out to him and subscribe to him and just, comment on one of his videos and say, good morning or good afternoon. What time is it there, Oliver? Ray Salem walked into the house. Keto Me, Chef Bobby Z in the house. How am I doing? I'm invigorated, my friend. I feel very invigorated. I feel very inspired. I don't know. Since this week started, just been pumping on all cylinders. Bobby Z says, yeah, outlaw 2. Keto, love you, my friend. TDCPA, make more not working, more government dollars coming ASAP. Well, it's not the government handing free handouts. Like I said, this is money that you and I have paid into the system. The taxpayers have paid in, right? We've done our dues. We've conducted a lot of transactions, a lot of trips, a lot of food deliveries, a lot of parcel deliveries, and we've been paying into the system. We've been keeping the economy going. Now it's time the economy gives back. This is not a free handout. This is what you deserved, right? This is what collectively US citizens paid into the system. It's a lot of money to keep the economy rolling. Now we take a portion out of it for us because we're in difficult times. We're entitled to this. Don't see this as a free gift or a handout or a present from the government. No, it's not. It's your money. Just want to make that very, very clear. Rick Nelson says, we are all road warriors. And let me just write down for you here, right? Let me just write down for you here how many trips Rick Nelson has done. 15,000. 15,000 trips. 15,000 transactions. It's a lot. So that money you're getting, Rick, you deserved it. You know why? Because you did 15,000 transactions out there. Scott Tucker, if I can recall my memory, correct me if I'm wrong, 13,000. QGS, 5,500. You can't tell me that people doing 5,500 trips, 13,000 trips, 15,000 trips, they need to be taken care of. Doesn't matter how many trips you've done in the thousands. You have been essential. You have saved lives. You have driven people from A to B. You deserve that money that's coming your way, and fight for it. Keto says, Scott, yeah, I was on the money, 13,000. Rick Nelson, was I on the money with 15,000? As I think my memory recalled me. Rideshare 411 says, check your phone, please. I will, and I can't. I will check my phone. I can't right now because I'm doing dual streaming, Rideshare 411. But whatever you've sent me, I can incorporate that into the next video. Baska Buratoki says, Professor EDD told me not to apply for PUA. They took an interview with me and told me they are investigating Uber. Should I apply for PUA? Apply, brother. Get your number. Get into the queue. Apply. Just apply. I'm sure they are investigating Uber. Yes, but that has nothing to do with you. Get into the PUA queue. Get your number filed today, my friend. Baska, please do me that favor, right? You can always say, hey, I needed the money. I had to apply. They can't punish you for this, right? If they have beef with Uber or they're investigating, that's their story. But yesterday, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands have filled out that form. You need to fill that form out today. Abstract Echo, thank you. Jimmy, yes, apply. Okay. So Baska, what I want you to do right now is leave the stream right now and go and do what you need to do for yourself. And that is get that information into the system. It's fast. It'll only take you 5 to 10 minutes, and you will get a number emailed to you. That's your number in the queue, right? You need to go and take care of yourself. So I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being in the live stream. But what's more important right now is that you get part of the program and start getting your money back. Sharam Nauruzi, how are you, my friend? Good to see you here. Jay Morris is in the house. Is Lyft talking layoffs? Let's talk about Lyft. We can bounce around between the articles because I have to have here. Lyft is laying off nearly 1,000 employees, 17% of its workforce, as the coronavirus sends ride-hailing industry into a nosedive. See, here they were celebrating. Frickin' champagne, caviar. Whoop, whoop, we're gonna roll in the money. We're gonna make the cash. We're gonna just keep these drivers making us money. I wanna see your faces today, you bunch of greedy idiots. See here, good times. Let the good times roll. Lyft President John Zimmer and CEO Logan Green applaud as Lyft lifts a list on the NASDAQ at an IPO event in March 29, 2019. Champagne and caviar. Now they're crying like little frickin' babies. Lyft is cutting nearly 1,000 jobs and furloughing 288 others, it said Wednesday. Both Lyft and its larger competitor Uber have seen ride-hailing volumes plummet amid the coronavirus pandemic. Shares of Lyft were up more than 5% in trading Wednesday, outpacing broader market gains. Why? Because they're actually showing the investors, showing the people, hey, we got to cut back. We're acknowledging we're having trouble. I guess investors want the truth. And probably if you speak the truth, you get rewarded, right? Your shares go up, right? But not good times. Lyft said Wednesday that it plans to terminate approximately 982 employees. Toxico I just saw your logo there. It says, can I ask you a question off topic? Hit me with that question. Go for it. Nelson Elias is in the house. How are you, my buddy? Good to see you. Abstract Echo says, nosedive my ass. We're talking crash and burn, baby. Exactly. Nosedive. It's more like hitting a wall at 180 miles an hour, right? I think their car goes, boom, 180 miles, head-on collision, Lyft and Uber. Jeffrey Rivera in the house. Shane Hill, Phoenix, Arizona in the house. Breen Cliver, May 11th for Illinois, PUA. Whoop, whoop. Celebrate, Illinois. It's about time, Illinois, you step up for your people. What else is here? What is, we got the, if you do not ask, you don't know. Yeah, the Joker is out, exactly. Abstract Impression says, TDCPA, PhD, I applied on April the 6th, still haven't seen a dime. Sorry to hear that. So I was on a roll here. I was on a roll as far as Lyft terminating 982 employees. Collectively, the job cuts and furloughs represent more than 20% of Lyft's last reported headcount of 5,683 employees. Look at that difference, 5,683 employees, Uber 27,000, right? Lyft is lucky that they never committed to all of these buildings, right? Uber always like to be glamorous. It's sort of the Travis Kalanick, Dara K syndrome, you know, $200,000 balloons. Hey, let's have all of these massive Uber hubs in each city. In some cities, let's have 2 or 3. I mean, if you look at the hub in Redondo, you can do it 1/3 of the size, but no, it's got to be big, glamorous, big Uber sign on the front. And now they are shitting bricks. They are bleeding cash. Yeah, and karma, they deserve it. You know, little high rollers, frickin' $200,000 balloons, and then spitting in everybody's face, taking in the cash. Now these bastards are hurting. Sherelle says, keep punching. I'm punching with words right now, but believe me, I would far rather be on a canvas floor and really punching. As long as they would sign off on that, it's okay to punch me today. That would suit me more. Anyway, so Lyft also said that its executive leadership is taking a 30. That's quite astounding. This is news to me, right? Let me repeat this again. Lyft also said that its executive leadership is taking a 30% pay cut, with vice presidents seeing a 20% reduction and all other exempt employees taking a 10% cut. Members of the company's board of directors have voluntarily agreed to forego 30% of their cash compensation for the second quarter of 2020. I have not heard that from Uber, and I don't think that language is even in Dara K's DNA. Me, Dara K, have to let go of 30% of my salary? Hell no. They took all of that away from me and my family when I was 9 years old in Iran. They took everything. I am not giving a penny back. I want the $42 million, right? Sharam Nurazi says, Professor, please call K-Cos Amin Pussy. He deserves it. I just called him that. Done. Cindy Escobar, good morning. Just apply for PUA to Los Angeles. When should I expect my money? I'm not the EDD. I don't have a tag here on my forehead that says EDD employer. So I can't tell you exactly when you get your money, but I can tell you that you've done the right thing. You're in a queue, and hopefully they get the money to you right away, right? And there's always the phone line. Where is the money? Where is my cash? When can I expect my cash, right? So don't make that call to me, Cindy. Make that call to the EDD. I'm just being sarcastic here, but that's the truth. Rick Nelson, Burbank Hub, far nicer and much more efficient, same as in OC and small LB Hub. I agree. The Burbank Hub in LA compared to Redondo, the attitudes day and night, the ratings on Google reviews, far higher percentage, right? Far more qualified, friendly staff. My guess is that the Uber hub in Los Angeles, in Redondo, which is closed now, right? A very, very, very aggressive bunch of people, right? They don't like what you say. They have the security march you out. I've seen it time and time again. Day and night, Burbank. Whatever Burbank is doing, they should be teaching the Los Angeles hub, because the Los Angeles hub is failing on every level. Anyways, that's just a slight little off the topic thing there. Mark Bus in London says 10,000 with a 5% rating. Well, it's hard to beat that. 10,000 plus trips with a 5.0 rating. Slide Hammer says, if you created something like a rideshare company, what would you do differently? Very good question, and I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say when that comes to that, right? I would have to go back to my conversations of what I've been saying over 2 years ago, how to make the changes. They're making radical changes now, very, very late in the game. But sure, do they have to cut back? Yes. But there were many dumb, stupid decisions, Slide Hammer, that Uber has made, right? Throughout the years. And that's a good separate video. Maybe I should do that. And I'll gladly do that. Lopez Perez. Are Uber drivers getting laid off? They will not get laid off. No. And I'll tell you why. Because, no, Lopez, nothing to worry on that side. If they need anything, they need you and I right now. They need the drivers. They need them to drive. They need this pandemic to be over. They need the economy to get going again, right? That's what they need right now. Toxico says, do your driving school courses updated consistently with last regulations, infos, and tips? Because I want to follow it now before coming to the United States to save time and be ready as I arrive. Well, firstly, let me give you this code. So you get a massive reduction. There it is. For that, right? Let me just put out the... But yes, I update that. And I also spend the time on the phone after you've done the course, and we go over everything, especially if you want to step it up and get into the TCP, into the private limo business, right? That is a good stepping stone, a good starting point, how to learn all the ins and outs and the marketing, and then elevating it to the next level. So that's pretty much what that course is about. But you're more than welcome to email. I see Genuine in the house. Cool. Genuine also says, no, Lopez, don't worry. There's no layoff of drivers. If anything, they need the drivers right now. They need the drivers on the front lines. So it's interesting to me that Lyft executive leadership is taking a 30% pay cut. I have never seen that type of language from Uber, and I'm not surprised. The coronavirus pandemic has had an outsized effect on Lyft, and to some extent, its larger competitor Uber, as stay-at-home orders around the world drastically reduce demand for on-demand car rides. By some private measures, ride-hailing volumes are down more than 90%. See, early on in the other article that Uber wrote, they said 80%. I automatically said 90 to 95%. I remember about 20, 30 minutes ago. This here is an outsider reporting on these two companies. And when he says 90%, that's way, way more accurate. The article that Uber wrote, what that they put out there through the San Francisco newspaper, says it's only down 80%, thinking or making us want to believe that hey, by the way, 1 of every 5 drivers is out there. That's not true. I'm telling you, it's 1 out of every 10 drivers might still be out there. Lyft without a food delivery arm the size of Uber's announced earlier in April that it had launched a pilot delivery initiative to move essential goods like groceries and medicine. It's not clear what impact that's had so far on mitigating revenue losses from the pandemic. I don't think that this little initiative that they started there made them much money. I really can't see that happening. Unless they completely surrender themselves, Lyft surrenders themselves to Amazon, they may have a lifeline and integrate the services, right? If Amazon would acquire Lyft and integrate a lot of their delivery services with the infrastructure that's in place, I could see that as a win-win situation. But it is my belief when I read this type of article and when Lyft executives say, hey, we'll take a 30% cut, we're going to cut 17%. They are trying everything to stop the hemorrhaging. They're trying everything to stop the bleeding. And they are trying to steer this Titanic through the waters, right? I don't think it's their intention that they want to be swallowed up by Amazon. They probably think, hey, we can do this alone. But I tell you, Google and Amazon are waiting on the sidelines. If the next quarter announcements are not rosy and this stock starts tanking, my guess is that Amazon would swoop in. Shares of the company were up more than 5% in trading Wednesday, outpacing broader market gains. So that article, we covered that. I want to briefly jump to the Uber stock price over here. And we're on 31.82. 31.82. It did go up quite a bit. I think it even went up to 34, but it's come down. So in total, it's up 5.21%. Marcus 1, can someone help me trying to get unemployment insurance in California? Can't get through. Dude, submit online. Have you tried the UI online? Have you gone to the website? Or are you trying to get through on the phones? Set of hands, Squire, is Uber paying more or less to its riders now that many drivers decided to stop driving? I can tell you the honest answer to that is set of hands is that Uber is looking at every single way, every creative way, whether it's to take from the restaurants, gouge them, take more from the drivers, take more from the Uber delivery drivers, right? A lifeline for them might have been that $810 million federal contract the other day. I don't think if they didn't have that, they would probably be in very, 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 very bad shape, right? But they're taking everywhere. Abshad Echo says, Marcus, I believe I posted transportation in the first category, then class 3 driver in subcategory. Oh, cool. That's good. So that, I think, was very helpful there, what Jimmy Abshad Echo told Marcus. Again, driver looking after driver. All right, so back to the Uber article. San Francisco-based company, ride-hailing business has dropped about 80% in recent weeks as stay-at-home orders have rippled across much of the US, Europe, and parts of Asia. A final decision on the scale of layoffs has not been made. It said Uber would not comment on the possible cuts beyond a statement it provided. As you would expect, the company is looking at every possible scenario to ensure we get to the other side of the crisis in a stronger position than ever. The information estimated that cutting 5,000 workers would save Uber $1 billion annually. The layoffs would dwarf a series of smaller job cuts over the past year, which came as CEO Derek Kay has pushed the company toward profitability. Please don't make me laugh when they say push the company towards profitability. It's far from profitable. So that is a fat lie here. Shortly before the pandemic, Uber had reached profitability by some measurements. Okay. Separately, Uber's longest-serving senior executive, Chief Technology Officer Thuan Pham, has left the company in advance of cuts to the 3,800-person engineering group that could total 800 jobs. So he would literally lose 800 of his people. So he probably thought, hey, this is time to go. It's time for me to move on. And he's got enough money. He's made enough money through his shares. He's made enough money through his salary. The guy's taken care of for the rest of his life. Right? He has nothing to worry about, this Thuan Pham. Should Uber initiate another round of layoffs, it would add to the 1,200 employees it cut from workforce since July. So before I go into that, I do want to talk a little bit about Thuan Pham. There he is. Also a guy that I've been going after relentlessly, right? Also, I think a guy that was involved in that whole balloon scandal, the $200,000 for the balloons, pretty much under Travis Kalanick's time, probably a high roller, right? They made a lot of money and they lived a lavish life. Fu and Pham, hired as Uber's technology offer by former CEO Travis Kalanick back in 2013, is leaving the company in 3 weeks. The rideshare giant revealed today in an SEC filing. And when they say the rideshare giant, I think the giant's hurting. You know, the giant's getting smaller. The giant might be a dwarf soon, right? In an SEC filing that came just as the information reported that massive layoffs at Uber are being proposed to preserve some of the company's dwindling capital reserves. Layoffs at Uber are being proposed to preserve some of the company's dwindling capital reserves. So the reserves are dwindling. There it is. Rick Nelson, layoff Manila, put US employees back to work. Love that thinking, right? Why do they ship these jobs over to Manila? Why can't those jobs be created here? Right? Sherelle says, Marcus one, check out Dave the Uber slave's recent video on filing EDD online. He shows how he filed. YouTube censors the S word. Spell it correctly. Okay, cool. Robert Garrison in the house says top executives need to cut pay over 50% or more than 50%. Right? If these guys want to get through these waters, they better cut radically. I mean, Dara should go from $42 million to $5 million. Free up $37 million, right? Doesn't deserve that type of money. Nor is he acting as a CEO that deserves that type of cash. It's a joke, man. He's a pathetic joke. Top executives need to cut pay over 50% or more. They will lay off employees and give the executives a huge payout. Rate cuts are on the way. I like Robert's future prognosis there. Good. Scott Tucker says, if I ever get EDD money, I'm handing my divorce papers to Uber and Lyft to start my own company. And Scott, you know who to call, right? You know who had a conversation with you on the way down to Long Beach yesterday. Don't forget. It's a lot of good stuff you can do, right? Your success of your company is how you approach your marketing. And do feel free to reach out anytime. AZ says no 100,000K. Slide Hammer says this just sounds like someone built this house of cards knowing it would collapse. It sort of sounds like a multi-level marketing scheme, which it's not. It's not an MLM, this company, unlike Vibe and Trip that are MLMs, right, that will collapse as a pack of cards. But right now, I think by juicing up the numbers, by doing stock buybacks, you buying back your stock and keeping it sort of artificially high, mark my words, it's going to get ugly, right? I can see at some point when the truth is revealed what's going on in Uber, they are artificially keeping the card deck high. There is nothing there, man. It's smoke and mirrors, my friends. There's no trips, right? And they just have insane overheads worldwide. But there's no money coming in. Abstract Impressions, Karen says, I'm still waiting on my EIDL dollars to come in. I applied 4/6, can't apply for PUA in Illinois until May the 11th. I'm broke. Okay, are you going out there? Are you doing food deliveries? What are you doing? What percentage down is black limo business? Woo! The good thing is that those drivers are not going out there doing food deliveries and that. And obviously, we're not charging the weekly. But if I had to give you an honest estimate of what the trips are down, 90%. 90%. But where I don't fail is in the purchasing price of these vehicles. Other people are purchasing for double the amount, $35,000 to $45,000 for these type of vehicles, whereas I know how to get them for $25,000. So, when you get a vehicle, a Suburban or an Escalade, right, for the right price, for bottom dollar price, right, you can keep these vehicles afloat, right? And you just have to work with the drivers. You have to get creative. You have to, you have to make a few little changes, but that's what every creative owner has to do in these days, right? And where you're losing on one side, you can find other creative ways of making up on the other side, but the system has to keep on going. But as an honest answer, 90%. I see 90% as well. Somebody says, hey, everyone, down your business last month, my 5 cars are down 90%. But I'm sure TD, CPA, PhD, you also are finding creative ways. AZ has a great idea. He wants to sign up to become a porn star. Okay. Look at that. AZ says he wants to sign up to become a porn star, Laura. Come check this out.
No, it's okay.
Probably not a good idea.
With the COVID.
You know, with the COVID-19, you're banging someone and you're getting COVID-19, not a good idea. David Garcia is in the house. He says, good morning, Maurice Samuels. There is a special place in heaven for you. Well, thank you. I look forward to meeting it. I hope it's got a nice jacuzzi and a swimming pool and a beautiful massage parlor. Yeah, one day I'll get there. Thank you very much. Louis Alum says, in the house. AZ, yeah, that was a good laugh. Jimmy says, look up Matthew Lesko. He has YouTube videos that might be able to help you get started. That's cool. I like it. TD, exactly. Oh, you know the channel. Wow. Nelson Elias, Hertz Rental has parked all their cars at the Hertz Arena. No one is renting cars, so they could be up for sale at a good price. And they will be. And the used car market is falling apart. I mean, the prices are atrocious. Nothing is moving. It's just not the money right now. People are careful. People are hoarding their bucks. Are you going to go out and buy a car right now? No. Unless you've got a lot of business going and you can improve your business, you're going to go out and buy a car. But are you going to go buy a car in these times? Hell no. Absolutely not. It's Mooses in the house. What's up? What's up? Slide Hammer says, I dropped my hourly rates by 20% and my business nearly doubled. Adapting to the economy helped a lot. That's beautiful. Smart. I like that. El Tio, how are you, my friend? Hello, hello, hello. Scott Tucker, well, I will, but I know how credit works. Sold cars for 16 years. Okay, that's good. AZ, find it strange that both companies surging like crazy here in New Jersey. Interesting. I don't know what you mean by surging, but okay. Ronald Mayberry, great Wednesday to you. Thank you. Sending love to you and to everyone from Delaware. And we appreciate you, Ronald. And we send our love back from California here, from all the other sides. Glad you're doing okay and doing good out there. Good to see you at Brooklyn, New York. Stay safe, my brothers and sisters over there. That's awesome. Thank you for the shout out. Toxico, as the demand is low, the car's price didn't go down. I mean, look, the bottom line is you go past these car sales, these car lots where all these cars, nothing's moving. The inventory is not moving, right? It's going to, to move these eventually, they're going to have to really, really, really radically lower the prices, right? So at some point, maybe these cars will move, but there's no new inventory coming in. All the big automobile suppliers are just, their operations are shut down. They're not pumping out cars. They short on products, they short on parts. Nothing's flowing, and nor are the sales flowing. So when people realize this is over, when the economy bounces back, when people feel it's safe to maybe buy a car, they'll do so. But it's not there yet, right? In the psyche of the individual, it's like, hey, stay at home, ride the storm out. Obviously, there are some defectors that want to get going here and there, want the economy to get going right away. But then you have to put everything into perspective. You have to put the United States figures on infections, etc., in comparison to other countries. And you also have to look at other countries, what works, what doesn't work, right? Great role models, let me just repeat, New Zealand, Germany, Taiwan. Look at what they're doing, right? Copy what they're doing, right? Because New Zealand's opening up, they're having fun. Taiwan is fine. New Zealand has under 2 digits, right? We're talking 6 or 7 infections maybe, right? Whereas here, I don't even want to know the numbers. They're so scary. Altia, thanks to you, I stop on time to pick up passenger at the airport. So thank you for your advice. Oh, that makes me happy. That makes me happy. And you did the right thing. And I'm sure you creative in your ways, Altio, and you looked for other ways. You're street smart, so you figure things out. And bless your heart. That's awesome. I'm glad that you didn't go to the airport and put yourself in harm's way that just brings to mind the sad story of the Uber driver in the UK, in London, right? Who gets the coronavirus, gets evicted by the landlord and dies out there as kids. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So TechCrunch, going back to Thuan Pham, the outlet suggests the discussed cuts could impact upwards of 20% of Uber's 27,000 employees, roughly 800 of whom could theoretically come from Pham's engineering team. He had a big engineering team, which currently comprises 3,800 people. Said an Uber spokesman to The Information, Amir Efrati, as you would expect, the company is looking at every possible scenario to ensure we get to the other side of the crisis in a stronger position than ever. I would like to add to that, at the cost of our workforce. Uber has been hard hit as much of the country and world remains at home awaiting a vaccine or at least more testing around COVID-19. Last Thursday, Uber said it expects an impairment charge of up to $2.2 billion in the first quarter due to the outbreak, and for revenue to nosedive by 17 million to 22 million in the quarter. The company will report its first quarter results next Thursday. All I'm asking Uber, have enough money around so I can still collect on my 3 lawsuits. Please, whatever you have in your reserves, put that money aside and make sure I get paid and the other people get paid. The Inventor says, hi guys, what do you think of ride shares getting paid to look for Amber Alert, missing children alerts during off-duty times? Just log in and live stream while getting paid. I like that. It's a fantastic idea. And it shows that you care. It shows that you're a human. I like that. Creepy Old Pervert says, are you on Grindr often? It sounds like you are. Are you enjoying it, creepy old pervert? When you give yourself that title, creepy old pervert, right? You own that title. That says a lot about you, doesn't it? That says a lot about you and your DNA and your cellular structure. Are you on Grindr very often, trying to advertise Grindr? And what is my name? What is my title? How am I working it out there as the creepy old pervert? Pretty sad situation, some people, that they take that title upon themselves. Oh my God. Hilarious. Nothing good came from that title, LOL, 100%. Oh my God. Flush the creepy. He's already flushed, man. He's creepy old perverts way down the sewers, my friend. I flushed him early on. If we could just reverse time, that was the creepy old pervert about 2 minutes ago. Gone. Pham has meanwhile become the longest serving top executive at Uber, outlasting not just Travis Kalanick, who was forced to resign as CEO back in 2018, but also the members of Kalanick's so-called A-team of trusted advisors, included in the circle Ryan Graves, who was one of Uber's first employees and board member of the company until last May, Uber's former head of product, Daniel Graf, who has since started his own company, Eric Alexander, who was Uber's president of business in Asia and was fired in 2017 over his handling of a rape investigation in India, and Emil Michael, Uber's controversial former. See, they're all controversial characters. Throw into the mix Pierre Dimitri Gore, who was arrested in 2015. There's a lot of controversial characters that this company, when you have controversial characters do controversial things, right? So they get very, very creative with their shenanigans. Emil Michael, Uber's controversial former SVP of business, who left the company in 2017, though it remains unknown if he resigned or he was fired. So looks like there was a lot of riff-raff in this company. His career at Uber might have ended in 2017 after former Uber engineer Susan Fowler, hero in my eyes, publicly accused FAM and Uber's HR department of ignoring her complaints about workplace sexism. She really whipped them into place. An external investigation cleared him, however. FAM, who was recruited by Kalanick from VMware, where he'd spent the previous 8 years, stood to make more than $200 million from Uber's IPO last year. Listen to that, $200 million for the FAM. FAM, the family man. At the time, he owned 5.4 million shares. He's an American success story. At age 12, FAM escaped Vietnam with his mother and brother in a fishing boat that was reportedly carrying dozens of other refugees. I did not know that. That does make him quite a hero in my eyes. After first spending 10 months at camp in Indonesia that he has described as having no sanitation and offering only a tarp over their heads, his family later arrived in Maryland, and FAM, an excellent student, wound up studying at MIT. So it's a pretty cool story there, FAM. But what happened is when you hit all your good intentions, MIT, leaving as a refugee, you're a hero status there, and then you hit Uber and everything goes downhill. Then they corrupted you. That person, what FAM used to be, that heroic MIT guy, refugee escaping, then he hits Uber, and then shit, it's all downhill from there. Sorry, FAM, but you're not part of our FAM, FAM. FAM would go on to nab a master's degree in electrical engineering from the university before being drawn to a job in Silicon Valley at the research lab of Hewlett-Packard. He only stayed 3 years. In an extensive interview with CNN in 2016, he said he grew bored at HP, so joined Silicon Graphics, whose co-founder Jim Clark would later co-found Netscape with young Mark Andreessen. And the funny thing is that Mark Andreessen, I met him back in the day when we were attending different venture capital meetings. I met that guy, Mark Andreessen, so that name rings a big, big bell. It was a significant move, he told the outlet, but I broke my mom's heart. She thought I was reckless. In her view, I should have stayed to build a career at a stable company like HP for 30 years and retire with a gold watch. FAM spoke at a startup event in February, roughly 1 month before the Bay Area instituted its shelter-in-place rules. You can check out the talk below. That should be a rather interesting talk, what this character has to say. Who are we flashing? Oh my God, the frickin' creepy old pervert's back. Oh my God. What is wrong with this guy? I didn't even see him there. How did the creepy old pervert get in? How did creepy old... He's quite a character. I'm trying to get rid of him. How do I get rid of this fucking idiot? Creepy old pervert. If you had a face and you're 2 feet away from me now, it'd probably be about a split millisecond and you'd be lying flat on the ground. Teach you a little lesson. He's quite creepy, isn't he? The funny thing is I've reported him and I've blocked him a few times, but the creepy old pervert finds a way. What does he do? The creepy old pervert finds a way to come back up the sewage lines. Right? I'd already flushed him. Very seldom do these things re-emerge. This is the classic creepy old pervert here, right? Re-emerging through the pipes. Sorry, I'd already flushed the guy. but he's got to have some strange powers. Flush him and put the toilet lid down. You guys are hilarious. I love it. I love it. We can talk serious things. We can laugh. Let's see. So I am knocking the topics off here. Let's go back to the Uber article. Sort of like all goes hand in hand here. So Uber cut 350 workers in a variety of departments, including its growth area of Uber Eats, as well as its core ride-hailing business, its Advanced Technologies Group (ATG), performance marketing. Hey, I don't want the newsletter. Get out there. And the recruiting in the fall. Uber slashed approximately 400 employees in its marketing department in July. And you know why they slashed 400 people in their marketing? Rack Alexian, you're right. You shouldn't pay attention to him. You're absolutely right. Alexanian, I should listen to you. Thank you for saying that. Oh my God, how does this punk? How many accounts does creepy old pervert have? And why does he keep on re-emerging through the pipes? What type of powers does the creepy old pervert have? I mean, what are my options here? To report him, to remove him, put in timeout, hide user on this, or add him as a moderator? We're not adding him as a moderator, that's for sure. We are not adding the creepy old pervert as a moderator. I've reported him. I've hit remove. I've hit timeout. I've hit hide user on this channel. And the creepy old bastard keeps coming back. WTF. How does he do it? John Michaelian, how are you, my friend? Oh my God, here he is again. This is the ghost creep. Maybe he has like 20 accounts. James Burr, we love you back, man. Welcome to the house. Let's see. Our house in the middle of the street. Our house is a castle and a treat. Our house, we kick the old pervert out. Our house, that is where we always meet. David Garcia says, I signed up with Potter and Handy and used you as a referral. Awesome. Money time, money time, money time. 20%, John. So they say, they won't give the exact numbers. 5,000 of 27,000 people. Lyft says 17% of their 5,600 people. So similar moves, same times. Shows you the industry is going hand in hand. They're both like roller coaster, woo, down and down and down and down and down, down and 100 down, down 50%, down 60%, down 70%, down 80%, down 85%, down 90%, down 92%, down 95%. It's just down the roller coaster. Dried up. Dried up. I wonder when barricades on the chopping block. I wonder when. Thumbs up, thumbs up. We have 100 people in the house, which is super impressive. I like that 100%, 100 warriors, but we only have 52. Oh yeah, he's the creepy old pervert. He's in the. He just said he's in the. He came back up again. I'll just flush him each time, and then afterwards I'll do some research on him, get him out. We're on 57 thumbs up. I know we can get over 60. Let's pump that stock up. Let's pump our stock up. On the other channel, I also have people in the house. Thank you for watching. So Uber slashed approximately 400 employees in its marketing department in July, of which 88 positions were cut from the Bay Area. That round was soon followed by another massive round of layoffs in August. This time, approximately 435 workers in its engineering and product departments. The Bay Area took the brunt of that layoff with around 300 engineering and product positions sliced from payroll. And by the way, all of the people that were kicked out the back door, if anyone wants to talk and you don't have a non-disclosure signed with this company, please come and give us some of the juicy, dirty stories about those people, what really goes on at Uber or Lyft. I'm here for you. If you're watching my channel, you have a voice. I will drive to you. If you can prove to me and show me an Uber staff pay hub that you were an employee, if you could prove to me what position, whether you're in marketing or engineering, and you want to talk up and you want to speak up, I will drive to San Francisco and do a live feed with you. I want the dirty story. I want the juice. I want the dirt on these scumbags, and I want to expose them, because I know that these people are all the scum of the earth, at least the Uber executives. It is unclear to what degree Uber's Bay Area workforce may be facing layoffs should it pull the trigger on another round of cuts. I'm pretty sure another round. So we did that article. Man, we're knocking them down today. So here it is, says Uber's CTO steps down. I've already talked about FAM, the family man. All right, we're done with that. So that's just another version of that article, and then we can cover, we're on, the stocks are going down now, 31.53, slowly starting to go down. And we'll talk about Ben Horowitz. Horowitz, a 16Z general partner, is leaving Lyft's board. I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about that, but I'd rather be here in the house reading out the messages of real people. Chris Hollingsworth says, hi, how are you, Chris? Good to see you, buddy. Roy Watkins, whoop, whoop. Love to see Roy Watkins in the house from Nevada, Las Vegas. July, I'm in Las Vegas. July, we're going to party like rock stars. July is the party, okay? We are going to choose a casino that's open. Maybe the Cosmopolitan, maybe the Wynn, maybe the Venetian. But we got to party. We got to party like it's 1999. Mark Principe says, carry on, Prof. Best to ignore him altogether, give him no mind. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to ignore this guy. I'm honestly trying to ignore the crazy old pervert. I really am. But he keeps on frickin' re-emerging. For now, there's silence. But the moment he's there, just hit that flash button so I can see. When I'm talking and reading about other things and articles, and I just see suddenly my eye goes to the sun, I see the big capital FLUSH, flash, 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 flash. And I'm like, somebody's in the house that needs to be flushed. You go and you find him. So that's how you guys directed me to the crazy old P. And I did try to get rid of him, but he re-emerged. Ravel Smiths is in the house. How are all you LUX drivers doing now? Lux drivers, nothing. I can tell you, I can report 95% down in that category. My guess is the moment they drop the stay-at-home orders and people are allowed to do sort of minimal opening here and there, and they'll start opening up little sectors of the market, and they'll slowly start bouncing back those SUV Lux trips, right? But for now, that pond is dry. There's no water in that pond. There's no oasis in the desert. Nada aqua. So Ben Horowitz, what a horror. He's probably another horror story. Ben Horowitz, the co-founder and general partner of venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz. I met Mark Andreessen back in early 2000s. Won't seek re-election to Lyft's board, according to a document filed with U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission on Monday. Horowitz has served as a board director at the ride-hailing company since June 2016. His venture firm, which he co-founded with Mark Andreessen, was an early investor in Lyft. He will stay on the board until Lyft's annual shareholder meeting scheduled for June 19. Horowitz plans to leave the board was first spotted by Protocol reporter BizCast, and Lyft is not planning to fill Horowitz's board seat. Horowitz could not be reached for comment, probably took the money and get the hell out of there. TechCrunch will update this article if he responds. We thank Ben for his long-time partnership with Lyft, including his 4 years of service on our board, a Lyft spokesman said in an email to TechCrunch. During his tenure, Ben has helped Lyft achieve some of its most significant milestones, including our initial public offering in 2019. We wish Ben all the best as he continues his work as a pioneering investor and leader in the venture capital community. Unfortunately, I don't see Ben as a rock star. I don't, because he's part of that problem, right? And really didn't do much for the workforce. So I'm sure he was just looking after his own cash. And bye-bye. No tears shed here, Ben. Ben Horowitz. Horowitz serves on boards of 13 other portfolio companies, including Okta, Foursquare, Genius, Medium, and Databricks. Horowitz was selected to serve on Lyft's board because of his extensive operating and management experience, his knowledge of technology companies, and his extensive experience as a venture capital investor. The company said in a filing announcing the agenda for its 2020 annual shareholders meeting. The annual meeting will be held virtually, blah, blah, blah. Shareholders will be able to submit questions and vote online. Interesting. I wish we could vote. I wish we could vote online. We'll vote them out. During the meeting, Lyft plans to elect 2 directors to serve until 2023. That's if you are around till 2023. That's wishful thinking, my friends. Very, very wishful thinking, right? Let me just see here. Mark Rowden, what's up? Right, so Lyft co-founder and CEO Logan Green and Ann Miura co-founder and partner at Floodgate Fund, are up for re-election as board members. The company's agenda also includes 2 measures to approve on an advisory basis: the compensation of its named executive officers and frequency of future stockholder advisory. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, good riddance. Horowitz is gone. And the only thing I have left standing is their price. So, but now it's, oh my freaking God, how the fuck does this guy, how does he get back in there? How does he? What a sad life, eh? Give Slide Hammer the wrench. Where's Slide Hammer? What did Slide Hammer? Samuel Mull says, Professor, should I buy CX5 manual, good on gas for my Uber Eats? I'm ready, busy in spring, Woodland, Texas, missing driving manual transmission car. I like manual transmissions, really cool. Yeah, it sounds like, I mean, depends what you can get that car at, Samuel. I mean, right now, you should be getting insane deals on cars. Insane deals, right? Rick says, try a Hyundai Ioniq 40 to 48 miles per gallon hybrid, better than Prius with six-speed trans. I would agree with you on that. Jana Jaya, hi my friend, good morning. I made some mistake in my unemployment application, how to recorrect it. You'd have to ask them. I don't know what you wrote. I don't know what you'd have to call them up and say, listen, I did this and this and this. How do I correct it? Ty Bolter says, what's your prediction in the future for Uber Lyft? My prediction is that Lyft will get swallowed and that Uber would have to get insanely creative and have a lot of luck to get through all of this. But that chance exists, right? But I think the biggest problem is the avalanche of lawsuits that are coming, right? So, for example, in California, if you have been misclassified, go to potterhandy.com. And you can tell them, right, get money. I think that we can block you. We can block you all the time. When you have enough blemishes on your name, creepy old pervert, then you will you won't have a voice here. Because what I'll do is I'll cut your tongue out. Creepy old pervert. I'll just cut your tongue out. It's easy. It's because he's created 100 different accounts, so he thinks he can't be blocked. Let's see is how we could possibly get rid of him. Yeah, it's all right. We got rid of his tongue. We'll chop him down bit by bit. He'll be back. He's got some software that he's circumventing. But I would say if you block a guy enough times, YouTube gets alerted each time. And if he's not blocked, I'll make a phone call down on Jefferson to YouTube headquarters. I have friends that work there. So I'll taken screenshots already, take a picture of his logo, of his name, and say, why is this guy, why is the crazy old pervert porn star, why does he find ways around? You guys got to block those holes. And eventually you'll shut him down. No, you could ignore him, but he won't stop. And I'm not going to allow, I'm just quietly just deleting him as he shows up. So I'm not, I shouldn't be giving him more energy. That's for sure. But we'll just keep on blocking him. What's the deal with? He's probably working for Uber. Yeah, he's probably one of the Uber trolls sent by Derek K. Lay, it's Moose. Are you serious? Do you have the link to the article that says this? Elizabeth Holmes Company with the false claims to detect issues. False. Yeah, there's buttons, Shane. There's buttons that you have as a YouTube moderator for the channel, right? You can report them. You can put them in timeout. You can hide the person. You can report. There's 10 different things, right? For pornographic, explicit material, for foul language. I've hit all the buttons, but the old pervert keeps on re-emerging. It's okay, we'll carry on. If he just shows up, we'll just... I promise not to use his name anymore. I promise not to use his name anymore. Nelson Elias, send me the name of the number, gentleman you helped. Send me the name and number of the gentleman you helped out so I can send him money through Cash App. Oh, Nelson, that was Ed. I'd have to do that afterwards. If you can text me, I could send you his details. Oh, stop making yourself out bigger than you are. Roy Watkus. Nah, we don't worry. We don't worry about that. Small potatoes. Those are guys with small dicks. About that big. I'm trying to move on. I'm deleting. It's working, but it reemerges. We could reconvene. We can reconvene a little bit later. Got a lot of good material for today. A lot of good material, right? And again, shout out to my bro here, Ed. Rock on, my friend. Rock on. Vegas 888. If you party at, I know someone that can help. We can talk off stream. Okay, cool. As far as the club goes, or getting a lot of people into the VIP suite at the top, I usually get that one right on the top there. Get really good deals on them. Definitely do a video on how you would do a rideshare company. Okay, that's cool. Jeff Wagner says, I'm sure a lot of us appreciate. Thank you, Jeff. Amy Montgomery, haven't driven in nearly a month and a half. Actually, a lot of people are missing it. I mean, a lot of people think and feel like Amy does, right? A lot of people have literally haven't driven for 1 to 2 months and are just dying to get back into there, right? But it's got to be a safe environment. Right now, there's just too much uncertainty. There's not enough answers, not enough clarity there. No vaccine yet. Apparently a vaccine coming from Germany soon. So things are moving forward and people are literally working around the clock. Wicked Hustle Guy says an extra 2,000K per month. I missed that. Mike Auger says, yes, I miss it, but I do not miss the entitled passengers rolling eyes. That's true. Exactly. Oh, awesome. Signed up with Potter Handy. That's cool. Yeah, they called me up and they said at least 15, 20 people signed up yesterday. That's great. That's awesome. Just tell them, if you're in Cali, the line. Thankful for online tutoring, but that's only 500. Okay, good. Like online tutoring is big time right now. You could set yourself up on Teachable. I mean, you could give classes on Zoom. You could set up a Facebook environment up to 50 people right now. You can monetize all of these things. Or you do I do a couple of free sessions first, do some marketing, and then funnel them into like a teaching platform. Ron Deutsch is in the house. People leaving crap in your car like you, $3 an hour personal cleaner. That's not cool, not cool. The Inventor says, Uber drivers, Jeff Wagner, thank you, my friend, appreciate you. Jeff Wagner's in the house. Cheryl says, still no vaccines for SARS. MERS or AIDS yet. I'm not holding my breath. More testing, better treatment. Yes, that's good. I like that. Inventor says Uber drivers should get paid to look for amber or missing children alerts. You said that before. Yeah, cool. Good. Maybe there is a link you can send them to. There's a donation button at the bottom or Venmo. Thank you. I always appreciate that. Ty Bolter's in the house. I noticed a difference on my Uber rating from changing cities from Detroit to Grand Rapids, and I didn't change anything. Let me start that again. Sorry, I don't want to mess up your statement. I apologize, Ty. So he says, I noticed a difference on my Uber rating from changing cities from Detroit to Grand Rapids, and I didn't change anything. 4.85 in Detroit to 4.95 in Grand Rapids. Wow, that is super bizarre. I've never heard of that. You basically went up because you changed cities. Maybe they're trying to cozy up to you and like show you some love. Also heard what you did for that other guy. Oh, Jeff, thank you. That was very special. I felt good about that, and it was a heart moment. Just meeting the guy, being able to give him a hug. Like sort of like a COVID-19 hug, right? So you like elbow, boom, you both masks on, gloves on. That's cool, Laura. We appreciate you. STA, they think like, see, they think they use all these little fake pictures. It's like a channel that's they're crying for attention, right? Crying for attention. The difference, you can report my channel, but they're making money through me and they know what I'm doing. So let's see, where is she gonna go and report? Boom. Boom, there we go. Good riddance. Good. I've never seen a rating go up from 4.85 to 4.95 because you changed the city. I mean, what's going on there? Are they like trying to like make you feel special now and give you some more love with the hopes that you're going to go out there? Oh, I got 4.95 now. Now I'm going to do more for the company, right? Hello World says, should Uber reduce the commission it takes from drivers? I'm sure the one thing that every company should do right now is include like hazard pay, right? There should be some extra fee tagged on during these times. I don't think that companies are going to play around with commissions, right? Because that's sort of long term and you can't change those commissions. They could probably temporarily introduce like a hazard pay, right? But Albert says, can you go over what I missed? Oof, you missed a lot, my friend. You missed a lot. Thank you, TDCPA. That's very nice of you. Tres, gracias. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate everyone today that made a. Amy Montgomery, hazard pay, man. Why isn't there any hazard pay? In Japan, what I liked in Japan is that their unions or whatever protecting the drivers insisted that Uber added the hazard pay. I remember when I was in the army, and if I ever went in into a dangerous region or had to do some crazy undercover delivery of some whatever was in that parcel, I got danger pay. I got paid a hell of a lot more for that month, right? But I don't know why. Amazon pays hazard pay? Really? Can anybody send me that and verify that Amazon actually started paying hazard pay? I haven't heard that. I think every company, every gig company that is relying on drivers on the front lines, whether you're carting a nurse to the hospital, whether you're taking food into a high-rise building, hazard pay, right? Hazard pay all the time. Do you know what I mean? They definitely pay hazard pay in UK. Okay, that's in the UK. Interesting. In the UK fulfillment centers, I have not heard. Oh, so Jayla says they're paying $2 per hour more at Amazon. Okay, is that in the fulfillment centers? Let's get the Ron Dodge. That's what I thought. Woohoo, $2 per hour more. You know, they can do better than that, man. They should at least 40-50% more per hour. If we can get up to 80 thumbs up, I'd be super, super stoked. We're on 74 right now. Just give me thumbs up for relentlessly keeping the STA, the sexually transmitted diseases there that are in here, harassing us, the trolls. DJ Quicksilver in the house. We're on 76. That's cool. Alex S says Uber needs to suffer and bleed more. They need to see how drivers are struggling. They kept cutting rates. Oh, they're feeling it. I mean, Karma's definitely reached 1455 Market Street, I can tell you. Karma's knocking on the door at 1455 Market Street. Hello, our name is Karma. Hello, anybody in that building? Here's Karma. We come to visit you. This is 1455 Market Street, isn't it? Police officer says yes. Okay, my name is Karma. I've come to visit the building. TDCPA says Uber should have 2 times surge all summer. Most that are taking rides are business people that can write it all off. Agreed. Agreed. Try and find something out. Boom, boom, boom. Let me just see something here quickly. YouTube. Call it what it is, hazard pay. And if they make sure each driver has what they need to keep their vehicles clean and their drivers safe, they can raise their rates for good reason. Rideshare Helper got $1,000 from EIDL grant today, applied at the end of March. No unemployment in over 7 weeks. I live in Pennsylvania. A little bit of a lifeline, $1,000, but you know, in today's times, $1,000 doesn't go very far. It really, really doesn't, right? That's the sad reality here, my friends. Doesn't go very, very far. I'm reading your messages. I'm reading your messages. Oh, that was the Glenn Turner in the house. Good to see you. Mike Alger, no hazard pay here in Ottawa. Yeah, look, what we're saying is we're fighting for hazard pay, but there's no hazard pay. Last night for shifts and giggles, opened my Lyft app to see a scheduled pickup. Get this. 0330 for a grand total of 8 to 12 Canadian dollars. Bah ha ha, no hope. Nope. Robin Renat's in the house. How are you, dear? Viva Las Vegas. Love and Lights in the house. Applied for PPP and UI this week. Awesome. Amy Montgomery says, yeah, $500 a month and relying on friends to get food for me from church food pantries since car was turned in. Damn. Hey, if I can send you a package of food, I'll gladly do that. Alex S. says, while big corporations and companies are getting bailed out, who is going to bail out the drivers who invest so much to buy cars to drive for Uber and now? Yeah, well, if you made that investment to the car, I mean, that is your investment, right? That's your business. So you got to say, okay, I bought the car, I'm making payments, I'm 2 years into the payments, I'm hurting, but you got to look at as the car as your solution. Don't look at the car as your burden, right? Don't say, oh, damn, I've got the car right now. The car's killing me. I've got to get the car up. No, rather, how can I make the car work? Okay, good. What are the options? You can sign up for Postmates, Grubhub, DoorDash, Instacart on the same day, right? You could start creating a channel promoting those codes on Facebook. So you get, I constantly get monies from Instacart and from, Postmates, a lot of, referrals, etc., etc., etc. So you got to get creative. You got to use that car as your asset. You got to get out there and do food deliveries, right, or whatever it is. Or go and talk to a local restaurant and say, hey, can I do deliveries for you? I mentioned a guy here in LA, Bruce Hecker from Bruce's Catering. He was paying people, $16, $17 an hour just to do food deliveries in Hidden Hills and Calabasas, right? You got to look for those type of jobs, but you got to make that car work for you. Gary Habe says, has anyone received the promised masks and wipes yet? I've heard of a handful of people, maybe 5 or 6 people. That's it. Torres Petayan, I got paid today from EDD. Thank God. Good for you. Rideshare Helper says, get a 2-month deferment from auto lenders. Most of them will do it. Yes, that's true. Get a deferment, right? So, very good point. Get a 2-month deferment. Call them up and defer the payments by 2 months. Albert Person says, I spoke to Tim at Potter Handy yesterday. Good. Send him my regards, Albert. And I left you guys the link if you're in California, or speak to them if you're from a different state. But that misclassification of wages, your overtime, the time they didn't pay you for food and meals, it's a lot of money, guys. Go after it. Really, really go after it. Melissa says, yesterday I received sanitation spray, mask, thermometer from Instacart. Yeah, Instacart's been, they've been late, but they've been pretty good as far as what they're sending you. And it's going to go a long way. People are going to remember, just mark my words, people are going to remember. Basker says, Professor, I applied for Potter Handy. Will I get deactivated? No, you won't. No, they cannot retaliate. It's money that you're entitled to. And if they retaliate and deactivate you, you have even a bigger case. They'll go after them again. Right? Laura just will walk through silently through the kitchen. Are you replenishing? What are you getting, coffee?
A snack.
Hey man, I'm doing pretty good. I'm almost on 2 hours here. I think I can go a few more minutes. You can ask the guys at Potter Handy. I'm not allowed to mention any attorney names anymore because they've zipped my, with the deal that they've got going with Uber and Lyft, I can't mention any attorney names on both sides. I can mention the company that I'm working with. I can mention that you can get misclassification. My guess is 4 to 8 weeks you have money from the date of application. That's what I was told. Fred White, I finally got my unemployment yesterday. Whoop, whoop. Since being out of work from, March the 10th. I hope it was a decent check, my friend. I hope. Love and Light says, blessings and health to Laura. Cool. Frank Alexanian says, I got a mask I got an Uber face mask. Okay, good. Finally, Uber has done something. Basker, spread the news, man. I'm telling you, if you add up all the hours, especially people that have put big hours, long hours, overtime hours, that's where the money is, right? The unpaid meal times, the this, the that, your cell phone cost, there's a lot of cost that these guys will drum up and add into that misclassification lawsuit. Jimmy says, I think I'm too late in the game to get any PPP now. Possibly. Hey, we're on 86. Wow. Super happy. We're on 86 thumbs up. Maybe we can get it to 90. We could just rally. Ron Deutsch is, for people that got it, how long since applied to getting UI money? Completely depends on the state. Rack Alexanian says after 1 month. We're getting some good feedback here. I appreciate that. Roy Watkins, the lights are dim. Whoop, whoop. We're on 87. We're on 88. I appreciate you guys. We're on 88. We get squeeze two more. The 88. We've got 88 in the house. Anybody want to do anything? Want to get on 89? Anybody want to bid with an 89? We've got 88. We're going to 88 bid in the front here. Anybody want to go up to 89? We got 89. Thank you to the gentleman in the middle there. 89. He bet at 89. Do we have a 90? Do we have a 90? The lady in the front. We've gone up to lady in the front is on 91. 91. We're on 91. Anybody want to go to 92? Anybody want to go to 92? Anybody on 92 in the back? Anybody on 92? The current bidder is 91. Current bidder is 91. 91 for the first. 92, thank you to the man with the baseball cap in the back. Thank you. 93, a bidder in the front. 93, can we possibly get the price up to 100? We're on 93. Anybody for 94? Anybody for 94? Anybody want to for 94? Can we on 93? Can we on 93? Can we on 93? It's pretty good. 93 for the first. 93 for the second. Any bidder out there for 94, 93 to the highest bidder for the third? Congratulations, number 93. 010101 says, I was 90. Cool. Joey Tippy in the house. 94. Excellent. Mike Augen, 95. Mark Principe, got 94. Give me the 94. Anybody got a 94? Make it happen right now. All right, I'm going to go to 1 hour, 50 minutes. It's a long one. I did get my hands on a lot of these. So this is what I'm looking for. Kills 99% of the germs. Mark Auser says, I will not be outdone. And I have a weird habit, right? I have a weird habit. So I put a lot of, I'll tell you my weird habit. So I put a lot of this shit on my hands. I put a little bit in my nostrils and a little bit on my mouth. Why do I do that? I put a little bit in my nose, and it stings on my mouth, but why am I doing that? Strange, right? IQ Boy is in the house. Whoop, whoop. Nelson Elias just sent you a text on your cell phone. Thank you. I will read it right afterwards. Slide Hammer, what are we bidding for? We are bidding for my likes. Oh, I want to make an announcement here that I have a whole lot of really high-end dash cameras. I'm talking like $200 plus dash cam that I got from one sponsor that said thank you. And what I will be doing, this is what I will be doing. Let me look at my game plan. I had a meeting last night speaking to my group. So we will be building out multiple channels. I have, I think, like 9 channels. 4 of the channels have really, really good hours and subscribers, a lot. So we will be building out 4 channels. The one channel agreed on last night will be called Garage Mayhem. I'm going to tell you later on what my game plan here is, okay? But one of the channels will be called Garage Mayhem, right? And thank you, Joey Tippy. Hope you're doing well. Hope your family's doing well. I like the emojis. Healthy food, umbrellas, stay safe emojis. So Garage Mayhem is going to be an auto channel. You know, I have access to cars, sports cars, BMW cars through BMW. So I really want to build out. Sandra, love you back. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, right? I appreciate you for saying that. That makes every minute worth it here. Really does, in my eyes. So Sandra caught me off guard there. She like whoosh, threw me this comment in the room and like I got derailed. But I appreciate that. It's good. So Garage Mayhem, along with Spot Above, 2 new channels that I will be rolling out. Plus we'll have the existing channel, and then we'll have another channel, which I have a lot of guys may not know this, but Brian, I, and another partner, JC, have a massive warehouse just outside of LA. I'm going to take you in there. I've done past videos there, but just more private videos, and stacked to the roof on these, on these shelves, these racks. We have all different types of products. We ship them throughout the United States. We have a massive distribution center there. We do the drop ship for many of our clients. I'm going to be going in there and doing a lot of filming, right? And we has. Let me just get this verified by Brian. I don't want to give any false